The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. At that time, when Jesus had cast out a demon, some of the people said, "He casts out demons by Beelzebul, the prince of demons." While others, to test him, sought from him a sign from heaven. But he, knowing their thoughts, said to them, "Every kingdom divided against itself is laid waste, and house falls upon house. And if Satan also is divided against himself, how will his kingdom stand? For you say that I cast out demons by Beelzebul. And if I cast out demons by Beelzebul, by whom do your sons cast them out? Therefore, they shall be your judges. But if it is by the finger of God that I cast out demons, then the kingdom of God has come upon you. When a strong man fully armed guards his own palace, his goods are in peace. But when one stronger than he assails him and overcomes him, he takes away his armor, in which he trusted, and divides his spoil. He who is not with me is against me, and he who does not gather with me scatters. When the unclean spirit had gone out of the man, he passed through the waterless places seeking rest, and finding none, he says, "I will return to my house from which I came." And when he comes, he finds it swept and put in order. Then he goes and brings 7 other spirits more evil than himself, and they enter and dwell there. And the last state of that man becomes worse than the first. The Gospel of the Lord. Dear friends, we are privileged to hear from the Master again this evening. It is important to take note of some very strong sentiments here. Number one, when something good happens and we try to interpret it from a negative perspective, it is one of the greatest self-destruct, because we ourselves desire goodness. By the very fact that we make attempt to destroy whatever is good, we have destroyed ourselves and equally destroyed the vision of hope and a salvific destiny. That's one. And then two, it is important for us to note the need for unity. Disunity is the greatest harm and the greatest fear that can pierce through any group of persons. The demons themselves have learned very fast to live in unity. It is only the children of God who take for granted the light and the power of the Most High that live in disunity. It is important for us to know that we are already destroying ourselves as individuals if we do not live in union with our fellow brothers and sisters. Christianity today has become a religion of fraud and betrayal because of our lack of coexistence. And so Christianity suffers as the religion with the greatest creed, but with the greatest persecution. The persecution is not as a result of what comes from the outside. It is properly and persistently as a result of the internal friction that is making it explode in a negative manner. Thirdly, when you are standing on the path of goodness and somebody attempts to want to negate your goodness, do not care about the person. Stand by goodness, because by that, the kingdom of God is ranking higher and stronger than that of whoever that is going to minimize it. This is a very simple calculation. We shouldn't abandon the template of goodness in order to share the negativity of one who criticizes our goodness. It has been severally stated that people should not do good anymore because those who do good fall into or fall victims of those who are posing as people who need help. Yes, while we need to be very, very much cautious and careful about help because of insecurity, we must, first of all, become ingenious and intelligent in trying to foster help with an escape route. in case it happens to be a trap. It is totally unacceptable to say, because there is risk in helping, then I no longer would have to help. We have used our own hands to destroy goodness, and now we live according to the template of the one who does not want goodness to flourish. You know, there are some stories here and there that nowadays some groups of criminals will pose in a car with a pregnant woman who is almost like delivering, you know, and asking for help and so on and so forth. Asking for help, and then when you come down to want to help, you discover they are thieves or they are kidnappers or whatever, and then you fall into the trap. Now, you'd imagine that kind of a city. It means that when a woman who is genuinely in need of help, a woman who is genuinely in need of assistance at that moment cries out, with this example that evil people have put on ground, even good people themselves will have been able to save that person. We now live according to the tenets of what those evil people had set on ground. I personally refuse that. You know, that Jesus Christ was casting out demons, and then people now say that he's using the power of Beelzebub. So that means he no longer fights the devil anymore because of people's mouth. Who do you think that accusation came from? It came from the same devil, in order to dissuade people from believing in Jesus' authority over the forces of darkness. So how can I abandon the foundations of goodness and now dwell under the theory of negativity that is imposed by the enemy? We have to forbid it. We must look for ingenious ways of carrying out goodness, and nothing, no threat should stop us from being good. Otherwise, we'll be living according to the theory of evil people. So if I see such a person, a pregnant woman, I don't let go. I'm not going to stop because I don't know, I don't understand. I will go to a nearby police station and tell the police, look, there is a pregnant woman who needs help. I cannot stop because I don't know if they are traps. But you're not going to follow me, go there, or let us go there, or get some people. You see, the truth is, we must be ingenious in doing good. We cannot want to do good and remain dull, and then allowing evil to be more intelligent than us. Evil is becoming more intelligent in doing good, in doing evil, and goodness is becoming dull by the day in carrying out goodness. We can make good examples from the 10th century, the 11th century, when there were some men who were nurses to treat pilgrims who were traveling from Asia, Europe to Jerusalem, to the Holy Land for pilgrimage, as far back as then. There were no planes, no vehicles, so you use a very long time for a voyage. The voyage itself was a pilgrimage. And then when the Islamic invasion started, they started attacking pilgrims on the way. Nurses as men, they call them the hospitalers. That's where the concept hospital comes from. They didn't abandon the good works they were doing. They forbade that they abandoned the good works because attacks were now on the way. And here, for the first time, nurses started training themselves, doing press-ups, doing exercise, in order for them to carry out two jobs. Number one, the medical job of curing the sick, and the medical job of healing the injured as a result of the attacks of the invaders. Then, as soldiers, the defensive job of fighting against the soldiers. I have never seen such ingenuity anywhere anymore. Look at problems everywhere, and the church still remains stagnant. You know, taking the pathway of convenience. This was the church that I knew in the olden days. The church that solved problems. They were solving problems. When problem added to problem, they upgraded. They didn't abandon. Just as it is now. Is the church solving any problem in the world today? We are moving according to the tide. We are supposed to determine the flow of the tide. These are people called night hospitalers. And I think they are the ones that have metamorphosized to some of the knights today, those ceremonial. Now, the Knight Templars arose to become one of the most legendary group the entire universe has ever known, because they rose to defend the church against invaders. They are the ones that rescued the Holy Land. The reason why the Holy Land is still in the hands of Christianity today. And so, my dear brothers and sisters, we must not allow evil to define our action. Because of insecurity, we will not be uningenious in carrying out goodness, while evil becomes ingenious at every point in time, carrying out evil. Then the final thing we need to know today is the danger of not being filled. It is not enough to be clean. The danger of not being filled. I have gone for confessions. I am now clean. I have gone to reconcile. I no longer have guilt. I have accepted that I did this wrong and I have apologized. I no longer have guilt. Now I am clean. But clean and empty is still not a positive review. Now, if I am clean, I need to fill myself with something. You see, Jesus Christ just revealed to us one of the greatest and deepest truths about spiritual possession, about demonic cleansing, about deliverance, and the worst of it, about the possibility of being repossessed. By the way, let us understand this ordinarily. Every one of us are cleansed and repossessed as often as many times you can count. When I commit a sin and God cleans me, the sin repossesses me. I commit it again. Consistently. Thank God for God's mercy. I am not worthy to call upon His name. But His mercy still keeps me afloat with Him. Now there is something that can save us. There must be a content that the sin will come to meet, or the demon will come to meet, and not have comfort. They say light and darkness cannot reign together. And so Jesus Christ describes something very, very much mysterious here. Somebody is delivered. He is even referring to the one that he himself even delivers. He could deliver someone, but the person is not filled with the content of Christ's identity, and he remains empty, even though clean. These demons will look left and look right, nowhere to go. That guy still has space inside. Don't go back. But there's one thing he's going to do. Since the demon was just one that was in the person, the demon may not be able to fight the cleanliness there. The demon goes to bring 7 others, and they come to inhabit the person, and the person becomes even worse. Jesus has given us wisdom. It is our responsibility to live in accordance with the truth that He has given us. May God bless us all.